What was your life like growing up? For
we
you?
we didn't have a lot of money growing up. We were, poor and stuff. We had our ups and downs. My mother was a drug addict and an alcoholic my whole life. She's much better now, but so that was pretty hard to deal with. But
was your father around?
Yeah.
So he was in the home?
Yeah.
So your father and mother married?
Yeah, still.
And so what was it like with him? How was your relationship with your father?
We didn't talk much growing up. And that was just sort of how our family was. We sort of, things would happen and then we would sweep it under the rug and pretend it didn't happen. So that was a big change in my life where I was like that, where I was afraid of confrontation. And I realized that was super destructive because I started losing my mind, where I started becoming the only one that was like, hey, there's a problem here going on and nobody's acknowledging it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I think that I had a lot of like problems emotionally dealing with things and stuff like that, but I learned from a lot of it, all of it really.
How was it hard on you, your mother being on drugs and things like that? How was that hard on you personally?
To come home every day from school and not know like if she was gonna be alive or not, like that type of deal. I had a point where I had to basically pretend she wasn't alive, I guess, to mentally deal with it. To go
Amazing.
like, all right, like I have to get ready for her to overdose one day. You know what I mean? Or get into an accident or do something. And I had to believe that was what it was. You know what I mean?
And when you would talk to your father about it, what would he say?
He was in denial. I had to almost yell at him at points.
When you say denial, he didn't believe she was on drugs?
No, he did. He knew, but he was in denial that it was like such an issue. You know what I mean? That it was affecting us.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? So it was more of like, well, you gotta love your mother, and that's sort of, and he's right, you do, but you have to acknowledge the issues that are going on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you, so you really didn't have anyone to help you deal with that in the right way growing up?
I had good friends. I had a good friend of mine is actually, he used to be my youth pastor growing up when I was in the church and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I always kept in touch with him, and he helped guide me a little bit through a lot of things. A lot of stuff I had to learn on my own though. Like my dad taught me a lot though. Let me not, downgrade that. My dad taught me a whole lot. Just.
Are you close to him now?
Yeah.
And have you forgiven him for not protecting you from your mother?
Yes.
You told him that?
Yes, I did.
And have you forgiven your mother?
Yes.
You told her that?
Mm-hmm.
You went to your mother?
Yes.
And what did you say to her?
We had a whole conversation. She's off all the stuff now. She's sober and yeah. So we had a whole conversation, and I told her about how it affected me as a kid and all that type of stuff. It affected me with relationships with women.
Yeah.
Big time. And I told her I forgive you. I was like, I forgive you. I can't hold on to it.
And what did she say?
She accepted it. I mean, I don't think any mother wants to hear her son say that, but she had to accept her problems.
When did you go and forgive her?
This was even before she was sober. So I forget exactly when, but I was growing up, and I was like, I can't keep this anger in my life anymore. It's really destroying, it's so destructive. And I had to let that go. And it was truly letting it go. I forgave her before in the past, but it was fake. It wasn't really forgiving her.
Yeah.
When I said it, I was like, all right, that's it. Like.
So when you went to her and said, I forgive you for screwing up my life, she got mad?
No. I think she knew. I think she accepted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
like
so
she knew what it was.
You told your father you forgive him for not protecting you from her?
Yes. Not in those words, but I did say, I forgive you for letting all that stuff happen. Like I had to let it go.
Why did he not do something?
I don't know. Maybe it was just maybe it was laziness. Maybe it was being from the islands. We don't
your
talk
father,
about that type
your
of
father
stuff.
is black, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I rest my case.
Good
Say
point. I
no
should have just
more.
said that, right?
Yeah, that's all you need to say.
Oh, true,
You
true,
should
true.
have said, you know what, my father is black. I said, oh, okay. I'll rest my case.
Well, you know, you're right though, because from the island they don't talk about problems like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't. And so you're better now, right?
Yeah.
That you've forgiven her?
Yes. I don't have really any anger in me about like people saying things to me. Like I'm not sensitive about stuff like that anymore. Like I like conflict in the sense of like I feel like it works. It gets things done. Like
So do you have anger?
No.
You have no anger at all?
I don't feel any anger.
You never feel anger at all?
I get, for instance, we watched the country freaking crumble for the last 3 months. That angered me. I'm not gonna lie. Like watching this, the beautiful country that we built, and it's just getting destroyed by people that don't know anything about anything.
No one can get to you anymore, though?
No, not really. I haven't come across anybody that's been able to get to me.
They cannot make you angry?
No.
You don't have it on the inside?
No, I don't think
Amazing,
so.
man.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think
good.
so.
Did you know that any male that has anger is a woman?
Yes.
You knew that.
You
You
taught
heard
me
say
that. You taught me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you first heard that, what did you think about that?
It resonated with me so much that everything I just told you about my mother and everything, I realized like even the anger for my father, that was my mother's anger. Where I was like, I'm mad he didn't help my mother, or he didn't do this, or he did this, or he, what I mean? Like I was holding on to the stuff she told me as a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's what's wrong with black men. They have become their mothers because you become like whomever you're angry at. Mm-hmm. Because anger is hatred or resentment, whatever you want to call it. But you take on the identity of the person that you resent. And so black men being raised by women, black women, grandmothers and mothers, if you notice they get angry, they snap just like a woman.
Yes,
they get
yes.
angry. They can't take anything just like a woman, so they act like a woman. That's why they have to be born again of the Father.
I used to be a producer for gangster rappers, and they are the most emotional people on the planet.
Just like Mama.
You can't see you're walking on eggshells all the time because it's like this. There's always this anger. There's always this tension. I have to look back, and I had to get out of gangster rap for that, and I'm not even in. I was done with it.
Yeah.
I was tired of being.
And they don't
around
realize
emotional guys.
that's what it is, though. They don't know they need to return to the fathers. And mothers turn their children away from the father because she hates the father.
Yeah.
Because who he represent, representing God.
Right.
And so they have to forgive the mother so they can return to the father, and that will cause them to return to their natural state of being.
Yeah.
And then they will be logical rather than illogical.
And you're right, because almost in that order, that's how it happened.
Yeah.
I had to figure my mother first in order to figure,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing, man.
Yeah, it is.
Do you tell other people that?
Tell them what?
That they need to forgive the mothers.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
How do they deal with that?
They get
in the
emotional.
black community especially, mama is God.
Oh, it's the trigger word. You don't talk about your mom in the hood. Emotions, for some reason, a lot of men have a hard time getting rid of that. Like, they have a hard time letting go.
They have to be born again of the spirit of the Father. Then God will renew their mind. He'll take it away from them. And they'll come back to their normal self.